my dad is a scientist. He had a laser and he could make a prism, you know, and I remember being a kid and he'd show it to me in the lab, like and he explained to me about colors and that if you took, you know, if you took all the colors and put them together, it would make white light, and it's pretty fascinated as a kid. So I don't know, color was always kind of a big part of my, you know, childhood art even. So having all those colors was awesome. I still have my Pentel marker set that I had. I think I got when I was 12 or 13. I was so proud of it. They're in perfect shape. They still work because I was so kind of careful, you know. I never want to use up all the ink because, I don't know, that was like a precious object that I probably thought was irreplaceable, you know, which is strange. I bought a set for my daughters. There's 3.5. So things that were so precious then seem really like nothing now. Just have little bits that are kind of not noticeable, like maybe some cigarettes on the ground and maybe some markers and outlets. I like to make outlets and just little things so that you don't really notice them, but then you do, and it's a little confusing.
Then you start looking for them.
Yeah. So here's a phone I made. Do you remember those 80s, you know, Swatch phones?
Yes.
I actually looked online and it's pretty. It's accurate, believe it or not.
Did you do it kind of from memory, or?
Well, I was going to, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I went on to I looked on eBay and found a good photograph, as I'm sure a lot of artists do. I'm sure it's a big resource for memory and nostalgia. I think more about my work now than I used to because I have kids and I have less time to make work, and so there's a lot more thought. But the way I think about work is I don't have a visual idea of how things will look. I'm sort of drawn to a color or a piece of fabric or like an iconic thing that develops, and I tend to make things and reuse them over and over again until they're kind of done and then move on. Like the Yeti was present for a long time and it's kind of not so present now. And I'm doing like these big heads and, you know, other things have come in and I never really know why, but it seems like I'm grappling with them for a while. And it's funny working at drawing. I mean, a lot of stuff doesn't work. Like, I'll pick something up and go, oh, shit, that looks bad. So then I'll abandon it, but I'm not the kind of artist that like, I'll test out how it works and make sure it works and then put it on the paper, because partly I'd be bored and partly, I don't know, I just don't work that way. So there's a lot of mistakes in my work that are evident all the time. My work has a lot of mistakes just sort of there. And sometimes there's too many mistakes and then I won't show it, but in a way that kind of figuring it out in the page, I guess I'm drawn to. I don't do it intentionally, but that's just the way I work, and I tend to like artists that have that too. They would just give me basically dirty looks like, why are you're getting paid to do this? And I just felt like an asshole. And I'm like, God, I think I can pull it off. And by the end, everyone was won over and nice to me. And like, oh. In fact, the docents at the one museum even were like, we did not know what in the world you were doing. We just thought you were crazy, and it's great.